is 1 week away, and we're going to continue giving you our season predictions and best bets. Now, let's dive into the Atlantic Division. Hey everyone, thanks for joining us at Grandstand Betters. I'm Matt from grandstandbetters.com. Go check our website out, become part of our family. But at the very least, hit that subscribe button and the like button. Make sure that you stay with us here on YouTube. You want to get all your free picks, free plays every single week. But without further ado, let's give you our best bets of the Atlantic Division. So, coming in at number 5 in this division is going to be the Knicks. There should not be much argument there. The Knicks are awful. They were just downright bad, 21-45 last year. They do have one glimmer of hope. It's RJ Barrett. This guy is a legitimate player in the league. He should be an all-star, maybe this year, maybe next year, who knows. But he is going to be a good player. They just have to build around him. He's 14-5 last year. He just needs to improve his shooting. And then if they can get some role players, he's going to do great. Problem is, the Knicks don't want to do that this year. It was a very quiet offseason. And to be honest with you, they're going to wait for the 2021 free agent class when they have some money and they can go maybe recruit some talent. They did get a couple people. They got Burks, who can score and defend. Could he be Sixth Man of the Year? He might be in position to. Austin Rivers, he's a combo guard who's got experience. To be honest with you, though, everywhere Austin Rivers goes, that's not with his dad, he doesn't do well or gets played. So that'll be an interesting piece that they have. Nerlens Noel, they got. He's a backup option, somebody to replace Robinson. And Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, he's a veteran defender. Nothing shoots off the page at you there. They did get in the draft Obi Toppin out of Dayton. This guy's a high flyer, mid-range shooter, forward that can stretch the floor, and he's going to be a great player, maybe even a rim protector for him. If you look at their core players, really RJ Barrett and maybe Michael Robinson, their center, he's also a rim protector. 10-7 last year, pretty decent player. He'll get more time this year. He'll be your starting center for him. But there's not much to bet here. They're 220-1 in the Atlantic to win this division. The East, they're 200-1. NBA, 400-1. And their over-under is set at 22.5. I don't know where you want to bet the Knicks. If you took a tiny shot on the Knicks, I'd say it'd be to win this division. Who knows? At the trade deadline, maybe they throw money around. Maybe they throw contracts around. They go get somebody. I don't really know what they would go get, but 221, throw $5 on it. Throw some pizza money. That's what you could do with the Knicks. Staying away from them, but we do have a play on number 4 in this division, and that's the Toronto Raptors. Toronto 53-19. They were second in the East last year. They lost in 7 to the Celtics. And you're kind of wondering, whoa, they were second in the East, and now you have them 4th in the Atlantic Division? Yeah, they lost 2 huge pieces. Marc Gasol's gone, and Serge Ibaka's gone. They need to lock up some players, and they went out and they did that. Van Fleet, 4-year contract. Lowry, the backcourt's fine. The backcourt's going to be with them. But they also had a quiet offseason just like the Knicks. They're taking a huge step back here. They only added Aaron Baines and Alex Lynn, who are 3-point shooters. They bring a little defense as well. But really, the question mark is, do they have the pieces? They don't. And the trade deadline is going to come and go, and I don't think they're going to make any moves. I think this is a mini rebuild this year. Their backcourt's great, but they're missing all of the other pieces. Siakam, Anunoby, Powell, and Norman, those guys, they can play. They're role players, but with the exception of Van Fleet, who, let's be honest, he's not a top-tier all-star, or Lowry, they don't have anything else around them. I think they take a huge step back, losing Gasol, losing Ibaka. That's just going to be bad for them. They're 4-1 to win the Atlantic. That is awful odds, since we have them at 4th in this division. 8-1 to win the East. 20-1 to win the NBA, and over 51.5. I'm going to tell you right now, the value play here on Toronto is to win the NBA championship at 20-1. In all honesty, if they go out to the trade deadline and they get some players, they might be able to make a run at it. They do have the role players around them. They just need to grab that one player that's going to put them over the edge. And Marc Gasol and Serge Ibaka being gone, it's just not what it is right now. So we have them at the 4th place in this Atlantic Division. Right above, number 3, the Brooklyn Nets. Another interesting team. They were 35-37 last year. They got swept in the first round to the Toronto Raptors, ironically, in the bubble. Durant is back. Durant is back, folks. He's not injured. He took all last season off with that injury. And you got Irving there. Are they title contenders? We don't think so. Irving's 22-5-3. Irving is kind of like that girl that you date that just nags on you, but puts up numbers, because that's what he does and what he's going to do again this year. Their coaching staff, huge overhaul. You got Steve Nash coming in. He brought his Phoenix Suns buddies, Mike D'Antoni and Amari Stoudemire, on the staff as well. They went out and got Bruce Brown, defensive-minded guy, great shot defender and three-point shooter as well. They got Shamet from the Clippers, who adds some threes this team. He's 40%. So you got Irving, who's at 38. You got Durant, who's at 39. And you got this guy at 40. They're going to be a team that shoots threes. They're going to be fun to watch. They also got Reggie Perry. This guy was a dominant post player at Mississippi State. He was a nice pickup through the draft this year. Questions around this team, though, are really Durant's health. And if he doesn't play, they're going to be hurting. They've lost some good players. Garrett Temple, Michael Beasley, Chandler, Crawford, and Johnson. These guys, they're hard to replace. They did not replace those players in who they added this year. I mean, I know Durant brings back a lot of scoring, assists, rebounds, etc., but Durant's health, is it going to hold up? I mean, this guy's coming off of like 15, 16 months of just not playing basketball. LeVert, Prince, they got Dinwiddie, DeAndre Jordan. They're going to be able to space the floor and shoot a lot of threes and score a lot of points. And Durant's assists are going to be off the chain this year. Him and Irving should have average at least 6-7 assists per game, if not more. They have so many players on this team who can shoot and score. Where who's the person who's going to be left out? There's going to be somebody left out, and if there's not, then all these role players are going to have 20-plus points. They could go from 3rd place to winning a championship if they can figure out how to work the pieces. Honestly, they're plus 140 to win this division. That's an awful price. They're plus 275 to win the East. Another awful price. And 6-1 to win the NBA championship. That's not a great price either. They're good price on the Nets. Over under 45.5. Take the over on that. They are going to have a good team. They are going to make the playoffs. I think they can win 46 games. But I don't think they're going to be any higher than the next team. And that's the 76ers. And I know that's hard to talk about the 76ers when you have hopes for them. Do you remember the process, which started like a decade ago? The process hasn't gotten any better. It's a continual process every year of hopes and disappointment. And 43-30 last year, when they got swept by Boston in the first round, was a great example of how the process has never worked for them. They had a huge active offseason. They got some good veteran role players. Dwight Howard, this guy was Defensive Player of the Year. It seems like 40 years ago, but he was. He's an 8-time All-Star, though. They got Seth Curry and Danny Green, who are spectacular floor spacers, and they're really going to be able to help out Embiid and Simmons and spread that floor. I think a lot of threes will be shot by this team. Not Simmons, though, but everybody else. It really is all about Simmons, and how far Simmons goes is how far this team is going to go. Their core with Embiid and Tobias Harris is a good core. They lost Horford, Josh Richardson, and to be honest, the injuries and their shooting defense is really what is going to be the problem on this team. They need to keep everybody healthy. With a shortened season too, man, how much is Embiid going to miss? How much are they going to be able to win? I think like the first 3 weeks of the season, the media is going to go nuts on this team because I feel like they're going to come out the gate really slow and not figure things out. But if Simmons can stay healthy, Embiid gets enough rest and stays healthy, and Tobias Harris plays like he has, they're going to be a good team. They're 4-1 to win the Atlantic, 9-1 to win the East, 25-1 to win the championship, and their over-under is set at 45.5. I'm going to tell you right now, the best bet on this team is to win the Atlantic at 4-1. That's a great price. Philly, if they can put everything together, I think they can battle with the Celtics and maybe at the end of the season be on top of this division. With that said, who we think is going to be on top of this division is the Boston Celtics. These guys 48-24 last year. They lost to the Heat in the conference finals. It was so demoralizing to them. They had a great offseason as well. Tristan Thompson coming over for the Cavs. This guy fills out their front court needs. 12-10 guy. Now, if you remember, Thies really cost them the Eastern Conference Finals last year. So he's going to start, right now they're saying it's a training camp battle, but he's going to start over Thies. And his physicality brings a lot to that front court. They also added Jeff Teague, a great perimeter shooter, and this guy is just going to be able to fill Walker if Walker has injury problems like he has in the past couple of years. They also, through the draft, got Aaron Naismith out of Vanderbilt. 52% shooter from three, and he's going to be your shooting guard on this team, or at least fill in where he can. And Peyton Pritchard, he's a 22-year-old. You don't hear that. He's a 22-year-old rookie in the NBA out of Oregon, and he's going to be a backup point guard. They really helped themselves. They have a great core as well. They have Kemba Walker, as we mentioned. This guy can do everything. The only thing, as we mentioned with him, is the injuries. Smart. He can play the point guard if he needs to, but that's why they went out and got some point guard. He really should be playing the two on this team. Brown just signed an extension. He's a 20-6 guy. They have Tatum, who just signed an extension through 2026. He was 27-3 last year, shooting 40% from three. And as we mentioned, he cost them the championship, but they went out and got Tristan Thompson, so you got to think Thies is going to back him up. Starting five here are by far the best in the division, and you can get them plus 250 for the Atlantic. You can get them plus 530 for the East, and for the NBA, it's 13-1. We don't like any of those. Those aren't great numbers. Actually, I'm surprised the NBA is only 13-1. I think it's because how strong the West is. But honestly, our play on the Celtics, their over-under is at 45.5. Take the over on this. They're going to win this division, and they might put up 50 wins. It's all going to rely on Kemba Walker, and can he stay healthy? And can Tristan Thompson and Jeff Teague come in and be the players they have in the past couple years? We look forward to looking at the Atlantic Division and how it all plays out. Just to recap, in fifth, we have the New York Knicks. Not a good team, not going to be good. In first, we have the Boston Celtics. They're going to be the best. And the 76ers and the Brooklyn Nets, they're going to be your middle teams there. It'll be interesting to see. The Raptors is our surprise team. Could they jump at the deadline, get some players, and pole vault into the top two here? It'll be interesting. We look forward to bringing you all of our NBA plays during the season, but make these best bets now before the season starts. Get those value numbers, and then just sit back and relax. Watch all the NBA games, and let us do the work for you while you get to do the winning.